So this is part 2 of looking at the civil case between Kiely's family, Daniel Rodni and David Robertson, against Ryan Upchurch. Now, I mentioned in the first video that my goal with these videos is to simply go through the documents without analysing anything, trying to keep a somewhat neutral approach to how I look at this. Now, before I get into this, I just want to shout out once again to all my fantastic subscribers and members and all of you out there who are being so supportive of me and my channel. There's all the comments, all the encouragement that people give me in the comment sections in my videos. There is, of course, just the fact that you subscribe and you hit like. That's giving me encouragement and support. And of course, those of you who are members, I'm so grateful for that. That just helps keep my channel afloat. But right now, I am super grateful for those people who have given me buy me a coffees over the last few days. I did a shout out a few days ago, basically asking for a little bit of support with people buying me a coffee to help me towards my goal of replacing my iPad, which blew up over summer, to help me with having like better technology basically for working on my channel. And I was blown away by people's generosity, and I'm so very thankful. So for those of you who did buy me a coffee to help me towards my goal of replacing my iPad, thank you so very much. I'm very much humbled by your generosity, and I'm humbled that anyone would feel that I'm worthy of just buying even one coffee. So thank you so much for that. So now let's jump back into this document. I will link the first video below in the description section so that if you missed it, you can go back and you can watch that. So continuing on from point 11, we have Mr. Upchurch has a loyal following of viewers who refer to themselves as the Creek Squad. And the response to that, of course, being Mr. Upchurch admits the allegations contained in paragraph 11 of the first amended complaint. Now, number 12 is actually two parts when you look at it. So it says, Upchurch directed the Creek Squad to search for Kiely Rodni's vehicle and posted Google Earth images of Daniel Rodni's former home, falsely stating that he had found Kiely's car there. So the first section is that he directed Creek Squad to search for Kiely Rodni's vehicle, and the second section is that he posted Google Earth images of Daniel's former home, stating that he'd found Kiely's car there. So I guess that's actually three bits. Posting the images of the home and stating that he'd found the car would be two separate bits. So Ryan's response to this is that he admits the allegations contained in paragraph 12 of the first amended complaint, that he shared public information found online from Google Earth of the Honda CR-V in an effort to further the investigation into Kiely Rodni's reported disappearance. Mr. Upchurch denies the remaining allegations in paragraph 12. So just looking at that again, he's saying that he denies that he had directed the Creek Squad to search for Kiely's vehicle, and he denies that he had stated that he had found Kiely Rodni's car at Daniel Rodni's former residence. 13. While generating hundreds of thousands of views on his videos relating to Kiely Rodni's disappearance, Upchurch promoted his own music, often uploading new music content between videos on the Kiely Rodni case. And Ryan's response. Mr. Upchurch admits the allegations contained in paragraph 13 of the first amended complaint that his videos related to Ms. Rodni's disappearance gained hundreds of thousands of views, and that he likely promoted his music around the time in question, but denies it is related to the case at bar. Mr. Upchurch regularly promotes his music as he is an artist, and he regularly promotes his music in between any YouTube video posts. So in essence, what he's saying here is that, sure, his videos relating to Kiely Rodni did get hundreds of thousands of views, and it's possible that he was promoting his music on YouTube at the same time, but there was no crossover. So he's essentially saying, look, there was no mention of my music in my Kiely videos. I wasn't using Kiely's content to push out my own music. And he points out that as an artist, that he regularly promotes his music on YouTube. That's what he does. That's his job. So essentially he's saying that the two are mutually exclusive, that he put out videos relating to Kiely Rodni, and he may have put out videos promoting his music at the time, but neither of them were connected. Now, this is an interesting one. Point 14. Daniel Rodni essentially went into hiding and made substantial investments in home security, surveillance cameras, etc. This would be a tricky one to prove in terms of proving that this was done as a necessity because of Ryan. When you look at the quantity of content that was out there, and really Ryan's content was just one little bit amongst all that. I'm going to do number 15 at the same time. So several Creek Squad members made outlandish videos of their own. So Ryan has responded to both these as that, doesn't know anything. So 14, Mr. Upchurch is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the allegations contained in paragraph 14, therefore denied, which are therefore denied. Mr. Upchurch denies any of his actions or inaction caused damage to Daniel Rodni. So he's making that connection there, where they've originally just said as a state of fact that Daniel went into hiding and bought security, but in that point they didn't actually say that it was specifically because of Ryan. Ryan has responded by saying that he's unaware of that, so he can't respond to it, and that his actions or inactions did not cause damage to Daniel Rodni. And then for 15, he says, Mr. Upchurch is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the allegations contained in paragraph 15, which are therefore denied. So essentially he's saying if any Creek Squad members were making outlandish videos, he knows nothing about it. So it's nothing to do with him. Okay, so addressing 16 and 17 together. One self-admitted Creek Squad member named Julio made several videos under the moniker All American Cartel LLC. And 17, Julio posted videos of the Lost Trail Lodge, a vacation resort operated by Daniel Robertson. And the response for both: Mr. Upchurch is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the allegations contained in paragraph 16, which are therefore denied. And number 17, Mr. Upchurch is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the allegations contained in paragraph 17, which are therefore denied. So essentially he's saying he knows nothing about that, so he can't comment on it. And I do find it interesting that they are trying to hold him to account for content created by other creators simply because they can connect them to Ryan Upchurch in terms of them being sort of like his fan club. So I'll go through the following three together because we have the same consistent response from Ryan for these. So 18. In one of these videos, Julio speculated that the Rodney Robertson family was performing child sacrifices at the lodge as part of a religious cult. Okay then. Right. 19. Several Creek Squad members flooded the lodge's internet profiles with negative online reviews. And I'm going to say, if people did do that, that's really poor form. 20. The negative attention directed to David Robertson and his lodge caused him to suffer financial losses. So for 18 and 19 we have Mr. Upchurch is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the allegations contained in paragraph 18 or paragraph 19, which are therefore denied. This brings back memories, and I'm not saying this is not a good context, I realise, but if anyone ever watched the Paul Flores interview from not long after Kristen Smart went missing, and all he did throughout this entire interview when he was questioned was say something along the lines of, at the advice of my lawyer, I'm going to invoke the Fifth Amendment or whatever and not provide an answer. I can't remember the exact words, but he just said the same thing over and over. But of course he was such a dumbass that the lawyer had to have it written down on a bit of paper in front of him, and he had to read it off each time because he couldn't remember it. Totally relevant, totally unconnected to this, and I'm certainly not saying that Ryan is in any way at fault here. It just brought it to mind. So for 20, you have the same thing. Upchurch is without knowledge or information. So therefore denied. But then he also adds in, because this is the particular one saying that David Robertson suffered financial losses, Mr. Upchurch denies any of his actions or inactions caused damage to David Robertson. So 21. David Robertson and Daniel Rodni have each experienced extreme emotional distress attributable to Upchurch's postings, compounding their already profound grief at the tragic loss of their granddaughter and daughter. So once again 21 is denied. Mr. Upchurch denies any of his actions or inactions caused damage to David Robertson or Daniel Rodni. And the final point for this section, this lawsuit seeks to hold Upchurch accountable for his tortious actions, as in his damaging actions, and intentional misconduct as outlined below. And the response, paragraph 22, contains a legal conclusion to which no answer is required. To the extent an answer is required, Mr. Upchurch denies the allegations contained in paragraph 22 of the First Amended complaint. So he's saying he has not caused any hurt or damage to Daniel or David. Now I'm going to read through the next two sections without worrying about Ryan's responses, because obviously his responses are going to be along the lines of what he was saying before. So he's going to basically say that he can't verify residency of David and Daniel. He's going to say, yeah, this is where he lives, etc. So let's go through this. So the first section is parties. We have 23. David Robertson is a citizen and resident of California. 24. Daniel Rodni is a citizen and resident of California. 25. Ryan Upchurch is a citizen of Tennessee and resides in the Middle District of Tennessee. Then we have jurisdiction and venue. This court has jurisdiction over this action pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1332 because the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000, exclusive of interest and costs, and because there is complete diversity of citizenship between the plaintiff and the defendants. So basically, because they're saying because it is a big suit, they're asking for more than $75,000, that the jurisdiction then goes to the court where the defendant resides, which is in Tennessee, where Ryan resides. So that's basically what they're saying. I'm not sure if it mentions an amount in there. I'm not sure if we've heard an amount mentioned. It could be that they are simply asking the court to decide an amount. I haven't read through all this ahead of time because I just thought it was easier just to go through it with you guys. Okay, so 27. Venue is proper in this jurisdiction pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1391 because a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claim occurred in this district and because defendant resides in this district. So basically what they're saying is that what Ryan did, he did from home. So his actions occurred in that district. So that gives them jurisdiction also to hear the case in that district, and also because he resides in that district. So it's just legal terminology. It's just basically saying this is why it is being held in Tennessee, because it is an amount exceeding $75,000, and because this is where Ryan lives and this is where he carried out the acts, so to speak. You know, he was at home when he created the videos. Suit is timely filed pursuant to a tolling agreement agreed to by all parties on February 13th, 2023. Now I just jumped back into Pacer trying to find a document from February of 2023, and the earliest documents were filed in July of 2023, and this one in particular was basically where he was served by Robertson and Rodni's lawyers in the case, and that is dated 28th of July 2023. So I'm not sure, I really can't give you any clarification as to what they're talking about by saying that parties agreed on the 23rd or whatever the date was in February of 23, unless they are referring to the parties as in Robertson and Rodni having agreed to do this in February of 2023, and yet it was only filed in July. No, looking at it again, it says suit is timely filed pursuant to a tolling agreement agreed to by all parties on February 13th, 2023. So that seems a bit odd if Ryan was only served in July of 2023. I'm a little bit confused here. Maybe someone has a better idea of what's going on and can clarify that in the comments section. So just looking really quickly at Ryan's document, it says Mr. Upchurch admits the allegations contained in paragraph 28 of amended complaint. So it's interesting that there are no documents that date back to February 23, but there seems to have been some agreement made prior to Ryan being served with the documents for the case. I'm still confused because that doesn't seem to make sense to me. So if anyone can offer some clarity on that, that would be great. Now we're 20 minutes in, and the next section starts getting into the nitty-gritty, the factual background, which talks about Kiely's case, timeline, etc. So I'll put that in the next video. So this is where we'll stop on this one. Thanks for listening. Please leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts so far on this case. I will get the next video out on this tomorrow, so keep an eye out for it. There will also be an additional video on Sam Brown, which I will release later today. So keep an eye out for that too, because it seems like right now YouTube is not so good with notifications. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, all those good things. And once again, thank you so much for all those people who are so supportive of my channel in the many ways that I mentioned at the start of this video.
Into